What's up, guys? It's our wrestling podcast coming back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Just the Total Package, and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry.
What does LA Knights
just
do?
Stories.
We just have our catchphrase.
What's LA Knights thing?
Oh, just stories from the diehards. Sharing.
I can't. He's trying to do LA Knights. He doesn't.
Oh no, the Shaka. Yeah.
The Shaka. Today's topic. I have to get it out. No one's going to understand what's happening. King of the Ring, 1996 review. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. And look to your left for several other Jesse Poo video options. And he would just be tickled pink if you gave him a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019.
Or you can suck my butt.
Well, I can tell you, 1996 can suck my butt. This was not a great time for wrestling.
It really was. Like, you have no business being in 1996. Like, we're doing the hard work for everybody. We're doing the heavy lifting for all of you listening.
We're doing it so you don't have to. You're welcome.
Yeah, you fondly. We'll talk in a minute about why this event is remembered for so much. But really, we're judging the entire pay per view, and WWF fucking sucked. Like here, like it was not like good. It had some glimpses of that's a good theory, but it was like no. And even to contrary, real quick on the WCW side of things, Hall and Nash had debuted by this point, but Hogan had not healed yet. So they were in that middle of Hall and Nash kind of coming out every week, acting like they still work for WWF. Right. So they were WCW wasn't running away with it yet here, but the Cruiserweight division was a little bit more prominent. The product over on the WCW side of things looked a lot cleaner, in my opinion. I remember flipping back and forth because we lived through this war, people. We're not just fucking doing a review because, we'd never seen this show. We lived through this shit. And I remember flipping back and forth going, WCW just looks a little cleaner at this point. The Giant was champion. It was new.
Something's happening.
Yeah, the Giant was champion. He was new. He was different. Hogan was off TV, thank God. Because the yellow and red was tired here or whatever, but he would be back in this was June. That right?
Hogan was good about TV.
Yeah, this was June, and then July, it all happened. So, like I said, Hall and Nash over in WCW had debuted already. It was every week. What's going on? So people were tuning in, and the ratings were getting super tight here. And a lot of people don't remember. About a month before Hulk turned, WCW actually won every week leading into that, and then after Hogan turned, they never really lost the ratings. So they were building momentum here just because they were a better product. People were not digging everything that WWF was throwing at them, and we'll find out why.
In the words of Eric Bischoff, the revisionist history here of this event, because we'll talk about it later, but obviously people know it's the kind of the birth of Stone Cold.
Yeah.
You seem to have this affinity for this event thinking it was amazing, and it's not. It had flashes and they're sprinkling seeds of the Attitude Era, but they don't quite know which direction they're going yet, and it's still very it's like this mix of campy and real.
All right. The event is King of the Ring 1996. It's June 22nd, 1996 in the Mecca Arena. It takes place in Milwaukee.
Wayne's World. Alice Cooper, Wayne's World.
The attendance, 8,762. So 8,700.
87,000. That's a hell of an attendance.
87. Huge dump.
Take a zero off of that.
9,000 people.
762. Buy rate is about 0.65, about 158 to 197,000
That's
buys.
terrible.
Depending on the source. If it's WWE, it's always higher. It's 200,000 buys, according to
It was the highest bought pay-per-view ever, if you ask Vince, every
time. The slogan was, to battle is honor, to win is hell.
That's fucking stupid. Was that really?
That makes no sense.
It's really dumb.
I think ChatGPT.
I know, but I checked it over several sites, and it all says, I think, Wiki.
What the fuck are we doing?
So I don't know. Our commentary team is Jim Ross, Mr. Vince McMahon, and Owen Hart.
Fucking Vince. Like, he could not let Jim Ross do his literal job, which is be the best play-by-play ever. But instead, he's like, I'm going to stand right next to you. Like, fuck, it's ridiculous. Like, they went through this period here in 96 and 97 where he's like, I'm sticking right by you, motherfucker. Like, he's just right there. And it's awkward, and it makes no sense to hear McMahon be the play-by-play, and then Jim Ross also go, I'm going to be the play-by-play. And then they had Owen here, who's just trying to be the heel, like, color guy. Like, it's crazy. It's not a good mix. I did not like this at all.
We have the King of the Ring semifinals. Steve Austin versus Mark Miro.
Shut up. Okay, so first of all,
I'll shut up.
Like, nothing says I hate this fucking pay-per-view on Vince's behalf than, like, we're not gonna do like we have the last 3 years. We're not gonna do the whole tournament on the pay-per-view. We're gonna do just the semifinals and the final. 3 matches on a pay-per-view called King of the Ring, which are doing a King of the Ring tournament. Now he shrinks it down so he could fit the fucking shitty Ultimate Warrior and Jerry Lawler match like into it. Like, and he only does 3 King of the Ring matches. 3. That's it. He does the semifinals and he does the finals, and he fucks them up. So, like, this is bullshit. Like, bullshit. I mean, it's King of the Ring, and half the matches are not King of the Ring tournament.
Sorry, they marketed it in the promo video and as many times on paper as they can as the greatest King of the Ring card they've ever had, which kind of on paper might have been right? So if you're gonna dump the tournament, then you do have Mankind, Undertaker, Shawn, Bulldog, Warrior, Lawler, an attack team match. But the way they were hyping it was like they're like just fucking bypass whatever tournament we had, and they kept showing clips of the Raw the 3 weeks before of how it came to be, which was all shenanigans anyway. And then, to Jess's point, the rest of the tournament, even with 2 semis, was shenanigans and anyway. Yeah,
it's fucking stupid. It's all booked. This whole night was booked dumb. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Thought.
Look, hey, this
in
is
a bubble. In a bubble, by the way, because we know who wins, and he had to win to say what he said at the end of the evening. But like, none of this tournament was booked right. None of it. It was all booked like total horseshit. No.
But if you put this match on into a vacuum and you look at it, the pacing's good.
Oh, so we're doing Mero and Austin, right? Yes.
Austin, right. That's a B. Yeah. It's a B+. That's what I gave it. I gave it a B+.
I gave it I was like a B- B like thing. You know, at first I was like boring, and then afterwards like it started going, and then Austin splits his fucking lip open from his lip to his nostril.
Oh, that's right.
And Mark Mero did this backwards thing where he comes off. They did a move in the turnbuckle, and then he did this thing where Mero gets behind him, drops down, and puts his legs. But like, if I'm Austin, Mero's legs come up here and then cradle him back, and Mero kicked him in the face accidentally when he put his leg up, and Austin just caught it in the face and split his lip, so he was bleeding. But then towards the end, they had awesome false finishes. They were like actually working their fucking ass off. It was really good. And this was Mark Mero with the long hair, and Sable wasn't like the Sable that we would know yet. She just was. Vince loved her, by the way, you could tell. But like this 100%. Was Sable was only Sable and Mero debuted 3 months before. Well, Sable debuted a little bit before.
This point.
Yeah, Mero debuted at WrestleMania 12. He did a backstage segment and fought with Triple H. So Mero was only here for 3 months. I remember specifically all the magazines were like, Mero's winning the tournament. As a fan, I was like, they're pushing Mero. He's going to win the tournament. So when Austin wins here, I was shocked. I was like, because Austin had flopped as the ringmaster. Stone Cold was not the Stone Cold. You could hear his music. It was that shit music here. He was not Stone Cold yet. And it's really fucking crazy. All these stars had to align for Austin. All these bad booking decisions. And I say that like looking back, going like, no, all of this had to happen.
And the curtain call.
But they didn't heel face wise. They booked this fucking crazy. Like this was not like supposed to be this way. So Mero loses in the semifinals. And I'm like, what? As a fan, I was like, whoa. So you're telegraphing it. I'm like, Jake's going to beat Vader. And I was like, how's that going to happen? And I'm like, Jake's going to win. After Mero loses, I was like, Jake's got to win. Because that's the way Vince used to book, and everything should have been booked.
Momentum has certainly changed now. Look at who's on top, Jim Ross. Stone Cold.
That's it. Can he put him away? 1, 2. He got it. Stone Cold Steve Austin. What a battle. And this very first match opening up the King of the Ring. The Wild Man tastes defeat for the first time here in the WWF.
Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry. I give this a B-. We'll say. Craig, go ahead.
Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, I give it a B. It did get cooking. Sable looks absolutely stunning.
Yes.
Holy shit. She is.
And legitimately, Mero looked great here, too. He really did.
He did good. And the way Vince is selling Mero, like even after he lost, he's going to be here for a long time. You could tell he was really high on Mero. But yeah, and I kept looking at when Stone Cold got kicked, and I could not see it because he kind of goes out the ring, I think, right after it happens, and then all of a sudden he gets up, and then he
it's
is
the
bleeding
move
badly.
where I think he was behind Austin, he drops down, and if you, like I said, like his feet come up under Austin's armpits and pull. He was supposed to pull him back to a cradle, and he kicked Austin in the face with one of his feet.
So his lip must have
really
just cut right
thing.
through his teeth then, right?
What? Say it again.
To cut
Sorry.
right through his lip. His lip must have cut right through his teeth to have like 15 stitches.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, Jake Roberts versus Vader, the other semifinal match. More angle than an actual wrestling match. Jake Roberts was not really, he's just, he's old. I don't know how to say it. He's old.
First of all, the DQ here was fucking garbage. Like, who booked this match? Vader didn't pull the referee down. Like, he just acts, and the referee just goes. So they had a spot where Jake hits him with a DDT. As they're going down with the DDT, Vader just puts his arm out and catches the ref's waist and dumps the ref over with them in the flow of the DDT. And the ref's like, oh, he grabbed me, DQ. Even on the replay, Vader's hand was open the whole time. He never grabbed him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you booking here, you fucks? And so, like, they basically gave Jake a sympathetic pass because Vader's a monster. So in my mind, as a fan watching, I'm like, Jake's winning the King of the Ring. There's no way he's not. That's why I'm like, none of this booking makes sense. Yes, you're going to say, but the ending. Nobody knew the ending was going to happen the way it did. Nobody knew what Austin was going to say. Yeah. Like
nobody knew the start was going to be.
Yeah. So the booking of this
nobody knew who the person was projected to win before he got punished.
The booking of this whole show was dumb. Like, it doesn't make any face or heel sense at all. And you fucking shit on Vader, who, by the way, the next month, main event SummerSlam, and challenges your champion, and you don't give Vader a win. Why wouldn't Vader have just won the tournament? Like, I don't understand, like, why. And or Vader being super vicious. Like, before the match even starts, he just beats the shit out of Jake. And then the referee's like, it's a no contest, and Jake goes on because you are fucking, like, just attacked him or whatever. You want to make Vader look strong? Don't even have a match. Don't even do a stupid ending where he doesn't actually grab the ref, and then the ref gets up and says, oh, he grabbed me, he's DQ'd. What are we doing? Like, what? It's so dumb. I fucking hate this match. Like, I was so angry. I'm like, really? Why are you pissing on Vader?
I give it to Nick Roberts being set up. Vader has dominated the match. Here he comes up. Again, hesitating just a little bit.
Take advantage, Jake. You got to take advantage now while you can.
Here it comes, DDT. Yeah!
Oh, my God.
He got it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait a minute. The official.
Vader grabbed the referee going down. He never grabbed the referee. I didn't see that.
Certainly did.
I think Jake Roberts shoved the referee out of the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the referee's decision.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
That is a travesty. You can't forget Jim.
I give it a D. It was terrible. And even like so, and then this alludes to later, but Jake cuts a promo before this match. Vader doesn't get one, but Jake talks about redemption and Jesus and God, and if he can get through Vader, by God, then God's going to,
was that
make
a
him win
total
this
fucking
thing.
farce, by the way?
No, it's totally real. Jake was
the
fine.
whole angle, and I'm assuming this was post the Lawler angle too, right? So it's been his gimmick for a while, and Jake was probably still using it at this point. Like,
no, Craig, to your point, no, the Lawler angle would be SummerSlam a month later. He would get into it
after.
With Lawler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then Vader at the end of the match squashes and beats up Jake some more. So
Jake's ribs are fucked up, and
yeah. So, and he was injured. The announcer sold like he was injured before he came in here due to like the King of the Ring semi against Justin Hawk Bradshaw, whatever. So it's just like, it's terrible. So the final set is Austin.
So if you're going to tell that story coming in, he wins the tournament, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to telegraph everything. He came in injured. He got injured more with Vader. He's winning the finals. Like, that's my, don't get me wrong. Of course, I love what happens, but they didn't know that. That's my whole point, and we're just reviewing this pay-per-view in a bubble. It makes no sense. All of this was done wrong. I'm glad it was done wrong. It's one of the only few times that we'll review a shit pay-per-view, and we're like, oh, by the way, one of the biggest wrestlers to ever live comes out of it. But, like, you can't say that about every bad show.
Storm, yeah. Well, let's get into the tag team championship match. We got the Smoking Guns versus the Godwins. It's very much a undercard match. It's
D.
Very solid fundamentally. D?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
C minus.
No chemistry.
Was okay.
No chemistry. It's Sunny again. It
was
super
sloppy.
Stunning. These babes are at their apex right here.
Okay. While you're searching that on the edits, we're rolling to the F. That is the Ultimate Warrior versus Jerry Lawler.
Wow.
There.
F minus.
The crowd enjoyed. Yeah, I put F plus, but that's not really a thing. But the Warrior was enjoyed by the crowd in his comeback. They popped hard. Short and painless is not the word. I say short and painful.
Anyway, so we move on to the Warrior against Jerry Lawler. Just fucking awful.
F plus. Right?
Craig, I give it an F minus. Craig, what would you give it?
A plus. No, no, it was. I give it a D.
The Warrior did get a big pop,
no
but like I think the general consensus here was like even only 3 months after WrestleMania, like his luster was wearing off, and like you could tell that he was just not like one of these things is not like the other. Like he wasn't meshing with the current roster. Like he wasn't there to work. He was just there to be the Warrior and do Warrior things. And if it happened to work, awesome. If not, like whatever. You could tell the fact that Vince brought him back and Vince didn't put him in like a serious contendership match for the title. He puts him in there against Lawler means that Vince didn't know what to do with him after he got there. He's like, well, I guess we'll put you with Lawler at King of the Ring with Lawler. I
mean, I get it. It's still Warrior, but where's the psychology of it? Lawler, and you knew it. But Lawler comes down and just berates the crowd for like 2 straight minutes, and then, but he actually then physically cheats and chokes out the Warrior for the first 3 minutes, and then it's simply like 3 clotheslines dropped on his head, pins him, and it's just awful.
It was just to bring him out as an attraction. Why? Like why? Like if
and
you're going to bring the Warrior back in
WrestleMania
1996, have a match against somebody.
Right.
We can get in another match that I think had a lot of hope and ended up being somewhat hopeless. The WWF Intercontinental Championship match. Goldust drops the title to Ahmed Johnson, which is kind of a big deal. Historically, Ahmed is the first African-American Intercontinental Champion. Unfortunately, the match was pretty rough. I mean, Ahmed is very powerful, but he's also very sloppy.
Vince was so high on him here, though. Like
he was, and he was a fucking phenom. He was a spectacle. He looked great, but he also had a lot of health issues too. Probably because of why he was so phenomenally looking. I don't know how else to say it. He had to get kidney issues and other stuff going on. And I mean, the win itself created a memorable moment, but I would say the match at best is a C to C minus. Like bad.
I gave it a C. Like Goldust worked as hard as he could. Of all the booking choices, like a
motherfucker. You're right.
Of all the booking choices on this match, this was the right one because he was riding away.
Story, right?
Vince loved him. He was big. Like he was a different presence or whatever. He was so dangerous in there, though. Jesus Christ. Like he really was. Not in a good way.
He should have hurt way more people, Justin.
He was like unstable in there, but like people like that. People will gravitate Goldberg to people who are just kind of like they look realistic and you know they kind of I know wrestling's fake, but that guy is a little reckless and he makes me think that it's real. And so that Vince was trying to ride that wave here. I don't blame Vince at all for doing what he did. I like the booking here. The match was a C. It was sloppy. Goldust was trying to slow him down a bit. They were putting Ahmed in peril a little bit to try to like get him just to fucking teach him how to work. So I give it a C, but it was a solid C. It was fine. And then the ending worked well. The huge pop when he beats him with the power bomb, all of that's fine. I had no problem with any of it.
Here we're going to see it. The Pearl River Punch. Will we see it? Ahmed hooks him up. Yeah, he got it. He got it. 2. Yeah.
I have a problem with Ahmed Johnson, but I have no problem with any of it on this.
Yeah, I give it a C. It was really slow and plotting at times. Like the Ahmed in peril was a lot of wear down holds and a lot of chokes, and then they pivoted, and the whole angle's really kind of a homophobic. Don't touch me, man. Like
I put that in my notes, Craig, but I just didn't want to bring it up. But you're so right. You're so right.
It was a lot of Goldust shtick, and I'm all right with that. But then it becomes
the only answer. Vince makes this character, and then Vince is like, everyone's going to be like, I don't like to be touched by a man. Like that's the whole fucking
right. And it's like, Goldust. And it makes Ahmed hulk up when you kiss him or touch him. And there was the way he kind of Goldust kind of pinned him when he was kind of out, kind of made me laugh. And I was like, don't laugh at that, Craig. But it was 30 years ago, but it's still kind of icky.
Yeah.
Even though it's semi-breaking ground and Dustin went through a lot of flack, and imagine, like, I'm sure there were signs in the crowd and abuse thrown at him, but it also doesn't up Ahmed that, like, the whole thing is completely homophobic.
Yeah, the whole thing is, like, if you try to kiss me or whatever, like, I get mad because I hate it. Like,
yes. Sorry, continue.
Can I cut hard into the Undertaker versus Mankind and just give it an A, and you guys can talk about it?
Pardon me?
Heart's content. What?
Which match is this?
Undertaker
versus Mankind. It's an A.
It's not an A, but it's okay.
I give it a B. Yeah, it wasn't their best match, and like it was like one of their first ones. This might have been their first one, I think.
Would you say it's the best match on the card?
No.
That might have been Stone Cold. Actually, no. Sorry. I guess Bulldog.
I don't think,
you're confusing the Stone Cold Aftermath is what you're confusing it with.
No, this wasn't. This was a B.
It ends with
this was a B. It was fine.
What was the best match in?
There was a lot of plotting. Bulldog and Michaels.
Oh, fuck those guys. What?
Yeah, that was probably. But or Mero in Austin, that was fine too. That was really fun. But I would say that this match wasn't their best. It almost was a B-, but only because I am comparing it to their matches after or whatever. And this was just a very like basic feeling them out. Mankind is the only guy that they had ever brought in since they brought Taker in. He was the ominous guy. He was this fucking dead walking guy or whatever. Everybody was afraid of him until you brought Mankind in, who's just as crazy. And so he wasn't afraid of Taker, and he was willing to go mano-a-mano. Little side note, Mick Foley's a genius, and he understood exactly ring psychology and how to propel his character, how to put his opponents over. This was like a perfect fit. And the next month at SummerSlam, in August, is when Paul Bearer turned on Undertaker for the first time since he debuted as a manager in '91, and went with Mick Foley and Mankind here. So this was not even close to their best match. They had a few matches after this, and then
they had some amazing matches. Right,
their infamous Hell in the Cell in '98 probably can't be topped. That was probably their best match because of the obvious reasons. But the storyline and the characters fit here. So like the in-ring work, I was like fine with, but it didn't blow me away. But they just meshed, and Taker loved it. And when you talk to Taker now, he's like, dude, I just like finally when you get someone in there that knew psychology and didn't want me just to sit up and do the simple dead man, I could work and just be in there and do psychology. So I like that for them both. It was not a bad match at all, and I give it a B, which is good, But yeah, it wasn't their best match to me. It wasn't an A to me at all.
Paul Bearer's got the air. He's on the apron. Oh no! The Undertaker. The Undertaker was inadvertently hit with his own urn.
How do you know it was inadvertently? Maybe Paul Bearer is sick of the Undertaker and realized that Mankind.
It's over. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Mankind.
An unbelievable battle of these two.
No, it was a good solid B. It was stiff and hard hitting. Yeah. You can, to Jess's point, you can tell Undertaker's having fun actually going toe to toe with this guy and these kind of the moves. Mankind is in such great shape. I forgot the early Mankind.
He was so smart though. Foley is so fucking good. He really is.
This is his first pay-per-view. He takes a hell of a chair shot. He takes a backdrop onto concrete, onto a chair. He does the elbow, which is protected on pads, but also it's simulated violence. But Foley's so good. And we forgot the most important part. Mankind goes over here. Mankind pins Undertaker, which is so unexpected and so rare. And yes, it is Paul Bearer accidentally hitting Undertaker with the urn that does it. But still, I didn't know going in and watching this, Mankind was going over, and I completely popped for it. But so they were big on Mankind here.
But let's jump into the next match. It is the King of the Ring final. Steve Austin versus Jake Roberts. I don't know how to grade it because look, if you want to grade the moment, it's an A plus 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 plus. But if you want to grade the match, I'd say I don't even think it's a B. It's just
no. The match is a D. Like the match sucked. Like it was Jake being in peril.
I was giving it too much credit.
It was Jake being in peril, and Jake should have won. Like that's the way it should have been booked. We're not. Again, we're reviewing this in a vacuum. Jake should have won. There's no reason why you torture a man on Raw, like against John Bradshaw Layfield, and then make him crawl into the pay-per-view and then get beat the shit out of by Vader. And then you put him in the finals against a guy who had no business beating Mark Merrill, who you were pushing as a face.
Especially when you had no idea what Stone Cold was going to say.
But I say all this to say it's amazing that everything happened to put Austin over. It wasn't on purpose. None of this was by design. None of it. Like, it's crazy. Vince threw his arms up in the air. He's like, I don't fucking care. And then Austin's like, well, I want to do a character where I'm like a serial killer. He's like, I don't fucking care. And then like they do the tournament. Triple H does fucking the curtain call. Vince is like, I don't fucking care. And then like Vince is only caring about like Warrior and Michaels really at this point. And maybe Taker and Mankind to a certain extent. But I think they took care of themselves more than anything. Vince is just like Warrior and Michaels. Warrior, Michaels, Ahmed. Warrior, Michaels, Ahmed. That's all Vince. You could see that booking. That's all Vince cared about in this show. And then Austin just wins by chance. Somebody politicked for Austin in the back. He's like, just let him win it. It doesn't matter. Jake doesn't need it. Like that's what
he is his own man. Nobody tells Stone. Oh, there it is! There it is! It's over. That's it.
And the stunner applied again. 1, 2, and he got him. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Victorious over Jake the Snake Roberts. Stone Cold Steve Austin appeared to be bleeding from the mouth again. Went to the hospital.
Sorry, give me your.
I would not be surprised if that match was cut short for time because there's also a rumor that Stone Cold saw Vince McMahon trying to wrap him up during the promo.
It could have been the stitches, too. Or this time too.
Either someone went long because Bulldog and Shawn still had needed to go 35 minutes or something or 40 minutes because there's no reason why it was such a squash for Jake. To your point, even if for some reason,
and you're telling that whole story the whole night. I'm sorry to be so animated, but you're all night. You're saying Jake's just he's fucked up. Oh boy, like
so even if you pivot to Austin is going to win, and you knew that in the beginning, why would you still have it such a squash at 4:45?
Yeah.
To beat Jake.
Fast.
So that combined with like Austin, apparently he was wrapped up, and that's why that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so was so sudden, even though that was the button of the promo that Vince wanted. Like it just didn't make sense really for Jake. But a moment was born. The next night was signed.
You want to cut into the reality of it, Craig? They're trying to get Jerry Springer. Like to your point, they wrestled a match before the night. The match was going to go fast. They were tired, and at the same time, Jake was hurt. So they're planning for it to be a quick match.
Yeah.
Again,
maybe it was Austin's
that's
slip.
not how
Yes, you
not
said
how
that
wrestling
earlier.
works. But they were trying to go reality TV.
You sit there and you thump your Bible and you say your prayers, and it didn't get you anywhere. Talk about your Psalms. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, "I just whipped your ass."
He is Stone Cold. Come on, that's not necessary.
All he's got to do is go buy him a cheap bottle of Thunderbird.
All right, stop
and
it.
try to dig back some of that courage he had in his prime.
Also, what we forgot was before this match, Brian Pillman had a quick promo in the ring. Brian Pillman kind of drops a bitch. He actually goes full kind of loose cannon. And there was a moment when he's still walking back when Austin comes to the ring. And obviously anyone with a nod to the Hollywood Blondes and their history together.
Because they looked at each other, right? Did they look at each other or whatever? Yeah.
And Pillman kind of goes for a fist bump and Austin doesn't do it to him. But at least there was an acknowledgement. But that was a cool little inside moment. But But we forgot about that. It was Pillman's debut also, which was a very
There's a lot of this
promo.
None of this should have worked. It's insanity. None of it should have worked. Like it's so insane.
One more footnote of the night, too, is Stone Cold's so fresh here. He does the stunner twice, and no one really knows how to take it. they all kind of take it on their knees.
Yes.
They don't go full body. So they both Mero and Jake take it awkwardly. So it's not until a lot later that he properly takes this move.
The crazy thing was, it was the aftermath. It was like Austin was trying to tell them in the back, you could tell, because Michael Hayes gave him that move, by the way. Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes came up with that move in WCW. They actually used it for a while. I could play you tapes. And so when Austin was looking for a better finisher than the $1 Million Dream, Hayes is like, it should be fast. Like, I want you to be able to walk at people and boom, and hit your finisher. No fucking signal like, oh, here we go. Like, none of it. I mean, Austin would end up like animating the kick to the stomach and then doing it. That was like his setup. But Hayes is like, it should be short and violent, and that's what I want from you. And so that's when he would hit it. You're right. Bret Hart used to take it the best. The Rock's the one that kind of oversold it and kind of got famous for that. But Bret would take it, and Bret would just take it and crumble and get to his back, because right after should be the pin. But to your point here, Craig, Mero and Jake crumbled first, and then they would convulse. Like, remember Mero, like when he was getting pinned, was like, oh, like he was convulsing on the ground and selling the after effect, which I thought was weird, and not in a bad way. It's the development of that move and that them learning how to sell. How do I do this? Like, so it was like a whole thing where they're like, once he hits it, he crushes your larynx. Like, and so Mero did it. Jake did the same thing. Jake was like, oh, like, so it's kind of crazy, to your point, Craig, the progression of that move and what it became and how people
eventually
sold
it was just like you're sprawled out and you're breathing hard because you're knocked out.
But it got to a point where the guys just splayed out. So it's like he just fell on his butt and he almost didn't hit the neck to the shoulder. It's just, it was an RKO. So we're running late, but one more match, Dave.
Yeah. Well, I can write down
Shawn Michaels versus somebody British, Craig. You know him.
I give it a B+. I thought the match was fine. For what it was. There was a couple kind of botchy spots in here, ironically, between these two. But Bulldog's always been a good hand. I give it a B+. I thought it was slightly the best match on the card. I think that Taker and Mankind and Mero and Austin were right there behind them. If you had to name best matches, because the pay-per-view overall didn't gel. It was kind of blah. But I hated the ending. I hated the ending on this. What's the point in having Mr. Perfect on the outside of the ring? No reason. And then he gets in there and he wants to count 3 with the ref, and then Owen pulls him out. So they get in the ring. Michaels hits Sweet Chin music. Dave Hebner gets in, and then Perfect gets in there, and they both want a stereo count, which I'm like, fine if you're going to end it like that. And then Owen pulls Perfect out, and then Hebner continues the 3. And then they tried to make like a weird controversial thing where Mr. Perfect was like, I didn't count 3. I'm like, but you were the outside ref anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then they do the awkward run-in where Vader and Bulldog and Owen try to beat down what's-his-face. Then Ahmed comes out. Then the Warrior comes out. Because I think the next pay-per-view was like in your house. And it was supposed to be a 6-man or whatever. And the Warrior leaves. And then Sid comes back, for the record, after that. Anyway, so I hated the ending. The ending was like a cluster.
Warrior was pissed that he couldn't get on his plane early, I'm sure.
Yeah, like, what do you do? Like, why is this like, why can't you just have a great wrestling match? Because, Craig, the pay-per-view before, do you remember that In Your House, Beware of Dog, where the power goes out from the storm? That was the first Shawn Michaels and Bulldog match, and they ended it in a weird controversy. Then they redid the pay-per-view 3 days later for free because everybody couldn't see the finished version because the power went out in the storm in the arena. This was supposed to be their blow-off match for the singles thing, and I'm like, why end it again? Why Mr. Perfect? I don't understand. Like, I'm legitimately like confused as to why they even tried to make him controversial and a part of it. He never played anything going forward. The main event of SummerSlam was Vader and Michaels. And none of it made any sense. Go ahead. I give it. The match I give a B+, but I hated the ending on this thing.
Wait a minute, Mr. Perfect. Hey, wait. 3, 2. Did you see that?
On this thing.
Yeah, I give it a B. The entire selling the whole thing as Mr. Perfect as a special guest referee and whether he would call it down the middle and then making a decision at the end.
And then nothing happens.
Right when they're in the ring,
Craig,
that he's going to be.
He was the enforcer, Craig. I mean, if you want.
Except they didn't mention that at all the entire time. And then there seems to be this weird. it seemed to be a weird delay when they got started too. And so it's like Perfect either said like, nah, this is too many spots for me to fucking figure out. You guys, you do it. Hebner. Like, I honestly don't know. There's no reason. Or it was sold to Bulldog like, no, there's going to be controversy, so you didn't get pinned or like whatever. But a couple things, Bulldog, terrible at promos. My God, he's been in the business for so many years. He was
that was always his kryptonite.
Yeah.
He was serviceable, but you can tell it's a script and he's struggling and he's anxious to get his lines out.
I can't wait to sink my teeth into your bones.
So awful. Like, but the their cardio together, like it was slow to get going, but it was 35 minutes. I don't know if you had the time, Dave, but they really got cooking, and they gelled really great together.
They always did.
I love to see him. I also hate to see him with Cornette. I just do.
I know.
But,
yeah.
But it was good. And, Bulldog, they tease like Bulldog, people in England are watching this and Bulldog's going to win the title for the first time. It was never going to happen. No one thought it was ever going to happen. But it was fine. Shawn Michaels is kind of really trying to make the best of what he can with having the belt here. But he got a pop.
And legitimately, like Shawn, if you don't say 95, 96 Shawn was the peak Shawn. He was so athletically gifted. That motherfucker, like, he was really good. Like, just fucking excellent. Like, I just can't. His movements were just fucking spot on when he wanted them to be. When he went over, Shawn was right there for the spot. But he was so.
And I think he
gifted.
backdrop Shawn out to the back, or did he Shawn does some high risk shit here. But I imagine if you're Shawn, you're pissed that the end of it is a schmoz with Vader and everyone coming out, and then you've got Warrior, Shawn, and
Ahmed.
And Ahmed hands up at the end, except for Shawn, because it was the next international incident or whatever was supposed to be. A Warrior was gone by then, so there was no 6-man at that point.
Yeah,
Warrior no-show dates after this, and he was just done.
They brought Sid in. Yeah, they brought
those three guys.
Sid was their partner. Yeah,
it made me happy thinking Shawn's just like, okay, whatever. And Vince had he wanted Warrior. It was going to be Warrior Michaels.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. If Warrior would have played ball or whatever, it probably would have been Warrior and Michaels at SummerSlam.
Shawn could have sold the shit out of that too. By the way,
it would have been great.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I give this show like a D plus, a C. Listen, we talked about it at the beginning. Revisionist history is like it was the Austin moment, right? But I always have to remind people, you do know that the next month at SummerSlam, Austin, after this amazing promo, right? Austin 316, and then Austin was off to the races. The next show, SummerSlam, guess what? He was in the free for all match against Yokozuna. Yep. 1 month later, Vince did not know what to do with him. Then he finally got him hyped up for Brett returning. Brett returning at Survivor Series 96 is the catalyst. Like, when Brett came back, they're like, who do you want to work with? And Vince is like, anybody. He's like, Austin.
Right.
But yeah,
Craig?
King of the Ring sucked. Like, overall, I didn't like King of the Ring at all.
Yeah, I give it a C. Good and bad. I didn't know what it was. The Fed was between kind of eras at this point. You saw, we all talked about the seeds, but clunky, not the amazing changing of the guard.
It's just it's purely fascinating what we saw here in '96, and we did not see them really overcome WCW until late '98 to '99 on ratings, because they finally did what we thought they would do after King of the Ring, which never happened. It's the ultimate, as Craig said, it's the ultimate Mandela effect. Oh yeah, right after. No, it was not at all.
Right. Yeah, not even close.
So, not even close. So, go back, do your research, as they say. If you're dumb, do your research. I don't know, but we'll wrap it up here. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And for video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And on Instagram, you can give us a follow at the good old O.W.P 2018. For Jess and Craig, this is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.